Martin injured a couple of plays ago, back in, it's 3rd and 8.
Pause it. What happens when you have a defensive miscue and the best wide receiver in football split out wide?
Washington rushing 5, Darnold taking a shot downfield, open again is Horton for a touchdown. The rookie has 2 in the first 2 quarters.
Now I know, the man I initially alluded to didn't even end up catching the football on this play, but I still want you to pay attention to his impact. Seattle's got a hitch, flat, and sail route dialed up from the trip side. Now rewind just a couple seconds back, and you'll realize that the Seahawks motioned into this alignment, which also caused chaos defensively. Let it be known as well, me and you have zero idea what Jeremy Reeves' role was in this coverage. Whether it was maybe being responsible as the one high safety, or blitzing like he ended up doing here. But outside of the focus on him, Washington's got man-to-man coverage called across the board with a bracket on Jaxon Smith-Njigba. Now let me tell you what else that means. 0 deep safety help, and not even to mention press coverage on the line one-on-one with a 4.4 40 time. Now sure, you could very easily say that a call like this defensively is doomed from the start. But if I'm going to be honest with you, there has been way too much discourse with Seattle Seahawks football this week, specifically regarding how teams are defending them. 12 personnel in 2 tight end sets, and base defense. 4 up front, 3 linebackers, and 4 defensive backs. Forcing opponents into this style of play, which you can basically just call it selling the run, that is priority number 1 every time the Seahawks take the field offensively. And some of you might ask why this is the case. Well, it's created one of the best air attacks in all of football.
Seattle right back at it. Darnold 9 of 9 on the night. Takes another shot. And it's caught by Arroyo for the touchdown. Elijah Arroyo with his first NFL touchdown.
Now first things first, Rashid Shaheed literally just became a Seattle Seahawk as I'm recording this video. Not only is that massive in its own right, but ironically enough, it ties directly into the underlying point of this video. Because a lot of the, to quote myself, discourse that began around this team actually started by a simple tweet from Greg Olsen this week, which he said, Seattle is not a good rushing team, they are a heavy personnel passing team. And the funny thing about that, the majority of people took that as a diss, when in reality, it's the exact opposite. With making that statement, he's not trying to take shots at Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, anybody else that you could possibly think of. It's not opinion, it is a fact that you're looking at the 3rd most effective air attack, paired alongside the 31st ranked ground game. Yet, at the exact same time, that ground game's creating holes in the secondary unlike any other offensive team. Go back a little bit in this play real quick. The call for Jacksonville is nothing more than a simple cover 3 concept. And all Seattle's running on the opposite side of the line is a 2-route play design on the back end of a play-action run fake. Now, Tory Horton's job on a release like this, simply put, is to clear the top off the secondary. And speed like his, that shouldn't be much of an issue. But I want you to watch what a 12 personnel set and the 31st ranked run game in football does to the lower level of the coverage. The run fake forces all 4 of them to initially false step into the run fit, and Sam Darnold on the turn hits the JSN window seamlessly. Over the course of a single offseason, this team has hard set their identity to an under center pass heavy attack, which obviously they thought it would work, but you could also argue their quarterback is playing flawless football because of it. But speaking of flawless, that almost feels like the perfect transition for today's sponsor in Bear Mattress. Now, some of y'all know I've had my Bear Mattress for a while now, and I'll just tell you straight up, I am the most inconsistent sleeper that you will ever meet in your life. I toss and turn, adjust between my back and side constantly. I mean, getting a good night's sleep was practically an anomaly for me until I got my hands on Bear. And best part about it, I didn't even have to leave my house. A king mattress rolled up into a box and shipped to my front door. But honestly, where Bear stands out to me is their attention to detail. Any guesswork that you might have with your preference is answered and addressed with their personalized sleep quiz. My fiance and I filled it out and got matched with their elite hybrid type mattress, which basically has been my saving grace. Sleep quality wise, hands down the best 6 months of my entire life. But I also gotta mention, their sleep recovery technology is an absolute game changer. Fiberglass free in all of their products, and I stay cool throughout the entire night. My boys Goose and Gator would have to agree with that. I would even argue they love it more than I do. And oh yeah, Bears also got a 120-night sleep trial. 4 months for you to test run and see if you love it, and even a limited lifetime warranty. It's already made moves with me, setup can't get easier, sleep can't get better, and if you're looking to upgrade your sleep as well, head over to bearmattress.com/footballdigest, use code footballdigest at checkout, and you will get 40% off your Bear mattress on purchase. And yet again, that offer is better than any of their current on-site sales, so y'all gotta take advantage of that while you can. Link will be in the description, code footballdigest at checkout, and thank you to Bear Mattress for sponsoring this video. Now let's make one thing crystal clear before we go any further in this video. The heavy play action, up at the line of scrimmage style of an offense, it isn't for every team in the league. You need the right quarterback, the right skill position players, and maybe most importantly, the right play design and coaching. Here they've got exactly what it looks like. An inside dig and a vertical on the outside for Horton and JSN, and it's paired with a drag low level for Cooper Kupp. But the thing about the concept you're looking at is that it actually was the backup plan for Darnold. Kupp was initially sent in motion pre-snap, which Darnold had assumed tipped off man-to-man coverage for Houston defensively. But I can tell you right now that post-snap, it doesn't look like man. In fact, it seems as if it's cover 3 mesh, which, to avoid a minute-long explanation, can be described like this. If a route vertically extends through your zone, you take it up in man-to-man. You guys, there's pretty good reason why there isn't a coordinator in football I love watching more than Klint Kubiak right now. This play design simultaneously can act as both a man beater and a zone beater. Now, like we already mentioned, both Tory Horton and JSN's vertical stems will work to clear out both of the boundaries, and Cooper Kupp's route release is low, so Jalen Petrie kinda passes him off and zones back to his original role. But turns out he was the go-to man this entire time. As soon as he sees open grass on his cut, he leaks his route out to attack the open void.
Right, domestic and very happy with the way things are going. Play fake and fires downfield. That's Cooper Kupp in stride.
It's vintage Cooper Kupp, and then look at Sam Darnold's feet. Hitch, foot, and then there's Cooper Kupp. The ball fake sucks the defense up, and you replace the vacancy with the receiver.
If you want to succeed in this style, the man operating your offense needs some basics. The two standing above all else might be footwork and read progression ability. Not a coincidence that Sam Darnold looks better in both of those categories right now than he has in his entire career. And I do understand that there is, of course, the opposite side of the conversation. Last year in Minnesota, this year in Seattle, people like to tag him with being a quote-unquote play action or system merchant, given what Kubiak has surrounded him with. But guys, he's at the top of the charts by himself right now as the best play extender in football. He's almost fully convinced me at this point there's not a single pocket collapse that he cannot work his way out of. Every complicated aspect of this offense's operation, he has shown that he's able to manage it. But that's also the beauty of this system. More times than not, it's not complicated. It's just complementary football. If you want to see the epitome of how a run and pass game should tie into one another on every single snap, every single drive, all you got to do is watch a single Seattle Seahawks game. You don't need to have the best ground game in football to effectively utilize it. Because Klint Kubiak's proving in real time, you just gotta act like you do. And if you do, more times than not, teams will play directly into your hand.
Here on first down, 13 of 13, and to the races. It's White, all the way, Cody White for the touchdown.
Play fake, corner reacts up, and you go for a touchdown. That's all it is. Under center, they can't stop the run, so they all start jumping into the run game.
Now I do get that to some, this might sound way too simple what I've been saying in this video. Use tight ends, fake the run, collapse the defense and throw it over the top. Oh look, base personnel here yet again, go figure. But believe me, it's not that simple if you don't have this man running the routes for you. Not to mention a quarterback that, quite literally, continues to make every single throw in the book. This team averages the most yards per pass attempt in all of football. And the best part about it, it's not even relatively close. You can have an offensive coordinator that draws up the most unique, complex, game-defying route concepts all you want off of these two tight end play-action sets that we keep seeing. But you still need guys out wide with the IQ to make these sets work. Which, of course, Jaxon Smith-Njigba, in his new defined role, does exactly that. Another cover 3 style of a call here for Tampa Bay versus Seattle. Watch JSN in the development of the play not only kind of delay his release off the line, but then even working to tempo his routes to create that window right in the heart of the zone as soon as he recognized it. The overall shift in value that he's provided, you can't understate both the opportunity and the openings that it creates for your quarterback. Look back to the very first play that we covered in this entire video. Washington opts to bracket him low, eliminate his deep threat, and Tory Horton's there in the blink of an eye to clean up whatever mess of a coverage that was. But I feel like for the most part in this video, we've just kind of hovered around the big game hunting plays. Let's not act like that hyper-focus doesn't also transition into success in the short game. Cody White swings the formation in motion. His assignment seemingly gets passed down the line defensively. And for the most part, this looks like basic red zone cover one man-to-man. Flip your focus over to Seattle quick. They've got kind of an inside release out for Tory Horton, and JSN's on a crosser over the middle of the field. Do me a favor and watch the one high safety off the snap of the football. Not even for a second does he bother to look in the direction of Tory Horton. So it's basically another bracket on JSN. Tory Horton ends up fighting through what was called DPI by Marshawn Lattimore on the field. And to top everything off, that is a ridiculous throw with pressure in his face for Sam Darnold. And even that point specifically, it's just as crucial as everything else we've mentioned in this video. Those high-pressure, quick-release throws that Darnold just seemingly continues to get better at as the season goes on. Adequate run game, elite wide receiver, elite system and coaching. You could even go ahead and extend that same point over to what Mike Macdonald and his defense are doing as well. Now, some of you probably aren't going to think it yet, but whatever it is that makes a team a true Super Bowl contender in your eyes, it's hard for me to deny what this team continues to do. The question is, will this success continue? And that is where I want to hear what you guys have to say about them. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate y'all more than anything, and I'll see you in the next one.